we'll cut off some of the sides. So we'll cut off a little bit of the sides here. After that, we can cut this in half. So we'll take this diameter, we'll cut that in half. And the thing is also that when we're drawing the skull, we're actually avoiding that this line that's here on the side is completely straight. We don't want it to be completely diagonal. We want actually there to be a little bit here of a tilt to it. It makes it more natural too. So a little bit of tilt somewhere around here. And a lot of the guidelines that I often go with and use is more like a pirate code. It's sort of like a thing you lean up against and can help you, but I don't want it to dictate. Because we're all slightly different, and there's no hard rule on what our faces look like. There's imperfections, little things that are different. So it's guidelines that we can push and pull as we go along. So take a little sip. So one of the things here is when we have the diameter of this half sphere, we took the circle, cut some of the side off. We'll cut that in half. We'll give it a little bit of the tilt. Put that down there. We'll get into jaw shape. Something like this. I think it's sliding to one maybe, so I'll just take it here. Move it up. That's right. Around this time is also when we can put in the folded paper. So we'll put in the folded paper here. These lines. Alright, then we place the Lash shape, which is basically our sphere for the mouth. Add that here. So now we have sort of the base skeleton, and from here we just fill it out. So we want to have the cheekbones in because we want to have a little bit of volume there. So when we take the folded paper, right, imagine that the folded paper is not there, then we can draw a little bit of a box that follows that. So if I go here, have a little bit of a box extruding, so that folded paper kind of becomes a box. Same thing goes up here, add a little bit of thickness to it. So we have this sort of structure underneath. And the cool thing too that happens with the skull is that the reason that the folded paper is a nice little stylization of it is that these little nuggets where we have our eyes that are placed inside actually does the thing that when we fall or when we walk into stuff, which I do often, is it protects your squishy bits. So like because you have the foreheads, then we got our eyes protected that are much more sensitive and frail. So it's a nice little thing that is very practical in the way that we're built. So we'll go in here, we'll add a little bit of a kind of reversed or trapeze, I think it's called. It's basically a square. We take these 2 points, put them further out. And one of the things that we do when we dive into noses is that we actually call it a tie. So this looks a little bit like a tie, and kind of is a simplified way that we can also think about the nose. So I'll see if I can do a little bit of a nose here in a sec. We'll do a bit of the cranium nose first. Get that in. We'll do a little bit of a connector between the cheekbone here, go in, and the cool thing, because we have the round shape here of the mouth, we follow that curve, making sure that there's that form connected to it. The jaw goes in, we create a little bit of an overlap here behind, it goes up and connects here in the back. We have the box, we know where that line is now for our cheekbone. The cheekbone goes in there. We have the round line out of here, so we can do a little bit of connector. Whoop. This goes here. It's very important that you still do, what's it called, sound effects when you draw. It just goes appropriate. It also doesn't sit completely on, it sits on the skull, but it needs to have some thickness from it too. So, let's see. We have the first sort of head here. So we placed the entire features now on the skull. So let's see, we got a little time, so let's try to see